Hello YouTubers, Jr. here, and in today's video I'm going to bring you guys my thoughts and first impressions on the game Lawbreakers. Now before I start the video, I have 4 beta keys left to give, so if you want some of the beta keys, just leave a comment down below and I'll pick some random winners tomorrow evening. So that is going to be Sunday the 21st, I'm going to pick 4 random winners and I will contact you directly through PM or email. Now let's get on with the video. Lawbreakers is a first-person, fast-paced arena-style shooter with a champion system. Now there are currently 8 champions or heroes in the game, and they all play a little bit differently. And depending whether you're on the Law team or the Breakers team, each character has different skins or different names, and they're a little bit different from each other, but they play out the same. Now there are different types of heroes. You have like the tanky heroes, the quick heroes. You kind of have like the flankers, and then you have the medic. Currently in the game you have 3 different game modes. You have Turf War, you have the Overcharge game mode, which is a Capture the Flag spin-off type of game mode, and then you have Blitzball, which is literally there's a ball in the middle, you have to grab it and put in your enemy's goal to score some points. So what I like about all these game modes is they're very fast-paced, there's very little downtime. You respawn pretty quickly and you get into the action very fast, and that is thanks to each character's different movement speed abilities. So each character has 2 abilities plus 1 ultimate, and you also have maybe a chance to have 1 or 2 weapons. Depends what kind of weapon you have, what character you're taking, and you also have the ability to right click if the character has special abilities on the weapon that he's holding. So for example, the assassin that I'm playing, if you right click you can grapple hook and move around that way. If you're playing a character like the gunslinger, he has a teleport kind of feature, so he just teleports forward with his ability. And you also have characters with thrusters, jetpacks, and all that good stuff. So this game is very much based around movement, speed, and like precise aim, because it is an arena style shooter, so it's very fast paced, there's a lot happening, and this gets even more intense when you're playing in the gravity field. Yes, there's a gravity field, thus the name Lawbreakers. So the name Lawbreakers for the game actually has two sides to it. So basically in the game you have 2 types of teams. You have the Law and the Breakers, and then Lawbreakers as a whole, you're defying gravity, so at the same time that is also breaking the law of gravity. Now I think that this is something not everybody's going to probably like, as it is very kind of unique, because you're basically just floating around and you have to navigate that way. Of course you can use your movement based abilities to get around, but I don't know if everybody's going to like this, not the sci-fi aspect of this, but in the future game you will be able to turn it off and just have a normal game without having the gravity defying middle of the map part, because it's usually always in the middles, and the objectives are usually in that part of the map too. I like it, it's very different, and it's a very different type of gameplay there because people are pretty much floating and it's hard to actually predict movement, but it is very fun nonetheless. Now as for the gameplay of the game, it is very polished, it is ready to come out gameplay wise, it's fluid, there's not many problems with the hit registration, and everything just flows very nicely. The gunplay is very good, everything feels unique, like all the different weapons feel pretty unique in each character has, and you obviously going to have the character that you like the most, which for me is the assassin. I love the assassin, very fast, very deadly, but I do still think there are a lot of balancing issues to be had, and what I love about the development team of this game is they are there to hear you. I was in Discord while playing the game, and if I ever had anything to talk about, I could just jump on Discord, like say, hey, this feels a little bit unbalanced, or there's a bug here, whatever, and they're working with you. And they just want to hear feedback on the game to make it the best game possible. And what I also love about this game is it's kind of a game that doesn't care whether it hurts your feelings or not. So if you're getting crushed by the enemy team, it's going to tell you. Or if you get killed in a humiliating way, pardon me, if you get kicked, you get the big kick decal from the enemy in your face. So it's very ruthless as a game, and I personally like it. Some people might not like it as much because you get very invested into a game and then you end up losing and you just flip your shit because you have this big smiley face with X's on its eyes and like a tongue out telling you that you lost and that you were doing pretty bad. So I kind of like this concept. It's kind of like I don't give a shit. You lost, you suck. And I just find it very funny. I don't even get mad at it. And you even have these one-liners from each heroes, like when you kill them and you get killed, and they have like these one-liners like you cheater or stuff like that. It's very a fun type of thing that they added into this game, and I actually quite enjoy it. Now, the loot system, you basically get loot boxes or stash boxes at every level. So, and you get 4 unlocks per stash box, and then you can unlock cosmetic items for your characters or portraits, or you can also get the kick decals, which you can then equip to your character, and when you kick somebody in the face, it actually shows that kick decal. So there's a lot of customization to get in this game, and the skins and weapon camos look actually pretty cool. I actually quite enjoy them, and you can unlock different tiers, and you can also buy them with credits, which you get through duplicates in the stash boxes. So it's a little bit like a looting system in Overwatch, honestly, because pretty much all the games these days have this type of loot system with either battle packs, loot boxes, stash boxes, whatever the hell you want to call them. They all have these things in crates, and they're only cosmetic items. Now let's talk about a little bit the performance of the game. So the game performs very well. I was running it on Ultra, and I was getting like 160 frames per second with very seldom frame drops, unless there was a shitload of stuff happening on screen. There were very few frame drops, and the game performs very well. I find it is very graphically attractive. The design is nice. The characters look different. There's a lot of artistic work into this game. Some people said that it looked kind of bland or stuff like that, but I like that there's a lot on the screen, and there's a lot of stuff always happening on the screen. It keeps it very dynamic. You have particles flying around, and the movement-based abilities have effects on them and stuff like that. So there's a lot happening on screen. Sometimes it can get a little bit overwhelming, but it's nothing to go crazy about and say the game's bland or stuff like that. It is not. I like the graphics, and I like the artistic work that has been put into this game. The maps I find a little bit small maybe sometimes, but as of right now, I mean, it is a 5v5 based game, so, and it is an arena style shooter, so to keep that fast-paced action happening, they have to have pretty like small and concise maps where there aren't too many ways to get around. The maps are pretty much symmetrical on each side, as you would imagine of these types of games, so that's why they probably have small maps, but I hope in the future that we'll bring out a little bit bigger maps and maybe game modes that aren't symmetrical, or something like that. That would be kind of cool. I would love to see maybe like something like Payload from Overwatch implemented this game in another game mode or something like that. That would be pretty cool. I'd like to see that. There would be even more teamwork, because right now, if you're a really good player, you can pretty much carry the team. And there are a lot of balancing issues in the game. Some characters are a little bit way too overpowered, but I mean, there's nothing to get too crazy about. It's just some small balancing tweaks, and it would make the game even better. But I mean, it is in closed beta, and they have a lot of stuff to work on before the game releases. But in general, the game plays very good. It is very fun. You can jump in there with 4 mates and just have a blast, and you have all these awesome ways to kill people and work as a team to get the objectives. If you're playing against a team which is pretty good and well organized, then even if you're a really skilled player, you might not be able to carry the team. So that's when the teamwork aspect comes in. I think as the more people play this game, the better they get at it. So the more difficult your games become, and the more competitive they become also. They have a lot of work to do on the matchmaking system, because sometimes you would just get absolutely destroyed in the games, and I mean just bloody wrecked. You couldn't even score a point. You can hardly get out of spawn. But I mean, it is a closed beta, so there's no MMR system. They don't have enough stats to make an MMR system, because people haven't been playing the game for that long. But that is definitely something that will be in the full game. So those are pretty much my thoughts and first impressions on Lawbreakers. I really did enjoy my time playing with it, and there was actually an employee of Boss Key that was hanging out in my stream, gave me some beta keys, and he was just talking to me, asking me how I liked the game. So that's something I really like about the game devs of this. They're really engaged into their game, and they want to have a connection with their players and all that, so that's very good. I love that. And so that's pretty much it for today's video. I think I already said that just a few seconds ago, but leave a comment down below. First, if you want to win a beta key, I will pick 4 random winners tomorrow evening. And also, if you had a chance to play Lawbreakers, what you think about it, if you really like it, if you had a lot of fun. And while you're down there, be sure to hit the like button if you liked the video, the dislike button if you didn't, subscribe to my channel, and this is something new I'm going to add. Hit that notification bell, because I noticed that a lot of my subs probably don't get my videos in their sub box, so don't forget to hit that notification bell. And as always, thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I will see you guys in the next video. Have a good one.